wasn't really, when as a kid, I think I was drawn to songwriting and I was drawn to songs and I was drawn to different things like that. So I went through my phases, I'm 56 years old now. So my favorite three albums, that's, kind of a lot to ask. But if you started thinking, I remember like the first one that I thought, man, these are great songs. And it's just one song after another. And I was probably 12 years old. That was that REO Speedwagon High Infidelity record, believe it or not. Okay. It was like one good song after another, and then later as I got older, of course there was Appetite for Destruction. There was some Ramones records. There was that In Excess Kick record was really good. That Colt Electric record was really good. I don't know. I don't know if I have favorite records because I had just listened to songs. And then at one point, to be honest, as I got older, I didn't really listen to music too much unless I was drinking, because whenever I had that opportunity to listen to music, it was either in the car. Back when you listen to radio, it's the same song over and over again that you heard for 20 years. So I didn't listen to that. And then I would just rather, when I was at home, I'd rather play the guitar and stuff and work on my own songs.
Three musicians of all time, dead or alive.
Well, I started out as playing bass. So, the first bass players that I really got into and started learning their stuff was Steve Harris, of course, from Iron Maiden, and then Cliff Burton from Metallica. And man, I'm trying to think when I first started playing who the first three people were. I don't remember who I could say the third, because I sat there and learned. I learned all those Iron Maiden songs. I played with my fingers, and I learned all those, and that was probably the biggest one at first. That's where I learned to play. I'd lay in bed at night and play those songs. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not sure who the third. If you say musician, then you could. It's kind of hard, because then you start to go, oh, do you mean songwriter? Or do you mean this? Do you mean, what do you mean? So it's kind of a hard answer.
So if you could take Prophets of Addiction out on tour to 6 random countries, which would you choose?
Well, obviously we would do the States and Canada and the UK and Australia and, Italy, Spain, maybe, or Finland, Sweden. I don't know. There's a lot,
Everywhere, man.
I guess you'd start at the biggest one and work your way down. I'm not sure what that would be.
Would you prefer vinyl or digital?
To listen to or to look at?
To listen to, yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of what that song is about. I kind of appreciate that whole concept of what we did back in the days, and it wouldn't matter whether it was vinyl or digital. I think that it's more about the process. It's about, we used to, like I said in that intro, we used to save up our money. We'd ride our bikes to the place. We'd go get it. It was a whole experience. We'd look at the artwork. I remember somebody else was talking about that about that video, and people wrote stuff about that. Once it made sense to a lot of people in our age and stuff. I used to stop on the side of the road and look at the whole thing and read it for like an hour before I even got back to my house and put it on, and things like that. So to answer your question, to go along with that theme, I'd have to say vinyl, and it wouldn't matter. I guess it's physical product in general, and that whole excitement that it was when you knew it's coming out. Finally, this new Ozzy record or this new whatever is coming out on this date, and I'm going to be at the store that day. Make sure I get one of the 6 copies that they have, at the local mom and pop type shop.
Absolutely, mate. All right, and so which song from Face the Music would wake you up from a deep sleep?
Well, there's some that are more rockers, and then there's some that are more truthful and touching. Slipping Away is very sentimental to me. That's about being with my stepdad, who was like my dad. He got cancer, and I spent I canceled everything, all my tours. I canceled everything to spend the last year and a half or so of his life. So, if all of a sudden I heard that, I'd be like, hey, why is this all of a sudden, And then if the other ones, it was just loud and rocking, then there might be, it might be Let's Get High or one of those heavier, harder or more rocking type songs. Walk the World or something, one of them.
Brilliant. If there was a song about yourself, your personality, what would it be called? Like a made up song?
Go fuck yourself. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good answer, man. That's a good answer. All right.
Yeah.
These days, do you prefer beer or pizza?
Oh, obvious, definitely pizza these days. Yeah.
I'm the same, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Are you a saint or a sinner?
I guess you would say at this point more of a saint, I guess.
All right, and the final one is: do you prefer New Year or Christmas?
Probably New Year.